before Caitlyn was Brianna and Diana and Sue and Rebecca and all of those, Dawn Staley as a player. Where does it go? Can it continue to climb, and will it climb on the back of now Paige Beckers?
Basketball's golden child, Caitlyn Clark, revealed shocking information after establishing a basketball league of her own. Because obviously being the best in the sport wasn't enough, her roles include savior, owner, and commissioner. Isn't that bold? Or perhaps it's simply the result of the present system being so flawed that even a young person like Clark concludes, yeah, I can probably do this better. Here are a few of the comments that have been made. Playing for that whack job is not necessary for her. She needs to simply purchase a rival league. But let's not act like everything is sunshine and butterflies. Caitlyn has been accused of being a product of privilege and dragged through the mud for months. Racist accusations from players and even luminaries like Cheryl Swoops, Alyssa Thomas, and Aja Wilson overshadowed her abilities. Her following, they are as much criticized as they are admired. The story was obvious. The only reason she's famous is since she's white. The truth, she didn't simply make it through the commotion. She flourished in it. Gina Oriyama then brought up Caitlyn Clark once more. This should be enjoyable. And now, she's currently out here creating something greater than herself. In her own league, supported by prominent financiers who saw her as more than just a player, she represents the future to them. Either adore her or hate her. She has demonstrated one thing: controversy sells, whether it's talent, a plan, or simply effective PR. Clark has mastered the art of converting any slight into a chance and a profit. Will the world applaud, hate watch, or perhaps just consider how we got here? Let's take a moment to discuss the WNBA. The league that was meant to be the highest level of women's basketball, you know, the one with decades of experience that still struggles to provide its players with a livable wage. After the season, half of the league must leave and travel to countries like China or Russia in order to make ends meet. Russia, indeed, the same location that you would probably prefer to stay away from in any other situation. However, what other option do they have if the WNBA says we can't afford you? For instance, Camila Cardoso, where was it again? She's flying off. China? Somewhere abroad. You can bet that she's earning more money wherever it is than in the WNBA, whose salaries are, to put it mildly, lacking. However, you may continue to claim that the league is expanding and prospering while your top players are traveling abroad for their survival gigs. Why exhaust her body? No. And that's exactly what I said. Caitlyn doesn't actually need the money. I advise you to relax and put this small league out of your mind. Perhaps give it a go next year, however Caitlyn Clark comes in. In essence, this girl is smashing records, selling out venues, and providing the WNBA with its most thrilling moments in years all by herself. Naturally, she's thinking, don't I just start a whole new league, rather than just being a star player? And can you really blame her? In any case, the WNBA appears to be ill-equipped to manage its star power. Clark presumably thinks I might as well make money myself if I'm already doing all the hard work. However, let's not pretend that this is all about Clark. This speaks to all elite women's basketball players who are fed up with being viewed as inferior athletes. Despite the fact that its athletes are underappreciated, underpaid, and undervalued, the WNBA has been coasting for years, congratulating itself on simply existing. And you know what? This rival league is a huge thing because of this. However, Gino spoke about. He mentioned how she connects with the crowd, which was nice, and Caitlyn Clark gave some kind of backhanded praise. He compared her toughness to Paige Beckers. This is the pitch, a league in which female basketball players are compensated fairly. Isn't it revolutionary? No more taking impromptu 12-hour trips to a random European nation in order to survive. The WNBA's inability to strike a balance between basketball and its other goals means that you can stop feeling like a political pawn. Simply traditional hoops, as well as cash, because spoiler alert, money counts. Oh, and take this. There are rumors that it would like to support this new league. Indeed, it is the same Saudi Arabia that has been lavishing money on sports leagues as if they were monopoly money. Why not women's basketball when LIV? Golf has already created a stir. The WNBA would lose players so fast if a Saudi-funded league appeared that it's almost comical. Players would question, wait, you mean I can play basketball and earn real money while staying in the United States? Where should I sign? The way she interacts with people is what makes her who she is. She connects with people, you know. People also relate to her. On the court, she now talks a lot of trash, okay? Trust me. Now, why are these individuals disparaging Caitlyn Clark whenever the WNBA is discussed? Due to the fact that she frequently talks trash on the court. Let's now take a moment to consider the logistics. A new league might operate during a different season or directly compete with the WNBA in the summer. It's a nightmare for the WNBA in any case. Consider a league in which Caitlyn Clark is paired with Juju Watkins, Angel Rice, and Paige Bookers. Forget about playing against the WNBA. It would be destroyed by that lineup alone. Before you could say sold-out fans will swarm to this new league, the worst part is still to come. Better salary would not be the only benefit of this new league. So that's too easy. Additionally, it can provide participants ownership shares, actual equity that is. Do players get to keep a slice of the pie they help make? What an idea. It seems as though treating athletes as business partners rather than merely employees may be empowering. Caitlyn Clark is not only a basketball player, the game is being altered by her. There's more to this league than hoops. Reclaiming her story and demonstrating that skill, perseverance, and vision are not limited by labels or the goals. She has been the center of debate for months, admired for her talent, but demonized for her wealth. She is now responding with action rather than argument. Her league is a response to those who question if her success was due to hard effort or favoritism. For athletes everywhere who feel constrained by antiquated structures, it serves as a rallying cry. And it's evidence that you make your own when the game doesn't respect you. The insane fan base that follows Caitlyn humiliated the WNBA players by claiming that she would enter that league and destroy it. Even though Caitlyn was a fantastic college player, there were odds on what they were, such as her third or fourth in betting odds of winning WNBA MVP. The WNBA would have to scramble to figure out how to prevent its stars from leaving the league. They would need to start paying their players more. Spoiler warning, I realize it's shocking. However, the harm may already be done by the time they get themselves together. For the WNBA, it's game over once a league like this gets traction. But amid all of this, we must remember the fans, because in reality, this is about more than simply power and money. Giving fans what they desire is the goal. Excellent basketball without the commotion. The WNBA has a terrible tendency to become involved in social and political matters. And let's be honest, even though those things are significant, some fans are merely interested in watching the game. There would be a sizable audience of individuals who are sick of the extras if a new league focused only on basketball were created. Ultimately, one thing is certain: whether or not this league is formed. Basketball isn't the only sport Caitlyn Clark plays. Her game is chess. Additionally, it appears that the WNBA is currently one bad move away from checkmate. Caitlyn Clark is aware of this fact. She is aware that her following is devoted, fervent, and prepared to follow her everywhere. Those supporters will attend, purchase tickets, and show their support on social media if she launches a new league. And good luck with the WNBA as the merchandise starts to fly off the shelves. What's at stake here then? Caitlyn Clark will be more than simply a basketball player if this league is a reality. She will be a visionary, a trailblazer, and, to be honest, a game changer. She would go down in history as the best of all time and the person who changed the whole sport. Additionally, it would signify one of two things for the WNBA: change or perish, because this is the reality. For decades, the WNBA has been trying to get it right. It has taken decades to develop a fan following, market its players, and most crucially, compensate its athletes fairly. Nevertheless, since the present league isn't working, we're now discussing Caitlyn Clark maybe launching her own. I don't know what would be a wake-up call if that wasn't it. Caitlyn Clark is doing more than simply changing the story. She's destroying it with fire. Consider it a young lady in her prime challenging the establishment as a whole, not simply the competition. This league is more than simply basketball. Every critic who ever equated her achievement with privilege deserves a mic drop. All those who questioned her claimed she was overrated. All the players who blamed others without ever checking themselves. There is more to Clark's league than just business. There is a movement. You can't help but feel anything about this. Let's face it. Regardless of whether you're upset, inspired, or somewhere in between, Caitlyn's narrative makes us think about difficult issues. When a system's brightest star feels obliged to create a new one, how broken is it? When resilience turns insults into civilizations, how strong is it? This goes beyond basketball. It's a revolution. And at the forefront of this movement is Caitlyn Clark.